Hi. Today I'll be discussing anywho, I will be discussing honestly something that I realized a couple of days ago. As some of y'all may know, I'm a lesbian. Yay! But anywho, since me being in part of the lesbian community and dating around and stuff like that, I have noticed a pattern. And this pattern is heteronormativity. Ooh. Let me not. But yeah, if some of you don't know, heteronormativity, when you break down the word normativity, normal and hetero means straight, heterosexuality. And we live in a society where everybody is basically programmed into being heterosexual. And if it's not straight up and direct, like you need to be straight, then it is manifested in, like, for example, when I was a kid, I had a crush on this girl. And the adults around me were saying, no, you just really like her as a friend, basically undermining my attraction to her, right? And then every male friend that I had was like over exaggerated, like, no, you like him, or oh, he likes you. It's like almost forced on us ever since we were kids. Examples of heteronormativity, I realized I live in an area where there's a lot of gay people, and I love it. But I also realized that whenever I see lesbian couples, I see the pattern. One is usually masc presenting and one is usually femme presenting. And I was thinking to myself, why is that? Why don't I see more masc with masks and more femmes with femmes? You know? And I would see that pattern and I'd be really confused about that. I'll be like, why is that a thing? And like, I thought we're gay, Like, I thought, and I would see like heterosexual roles within lesbian couples. And I'm like, it shouldn't be that way. Like, first of all, I believe no relationship should have a role. Like, just because a person decides to present themselves in a certain way, I don't think they should automatically have like a unwritten role that they're supposed to fulfill. I don't really like that at all. And one thing I really noticed within that is like how weird they could be when it comes to like, for example, I was watching like a lot of TikToks, and
It's
within the
like
multi a lot of mass presenting relationship, like a lot of mass presenting women, they would like go on TikTok and be like, oh, I never received flowers, I always had to open the door, oh, I never got asked out before. Like, why? Like, it shouldn't be like that. Don't get me wrong, every relationship is different, but I'm seeing the pattern. Like, just because a lot of women are masculine presenting because of their clothes, then that dictates how their partner should show affection or not. Like, what? Like, I feel like we're so like deeply like influenced by the media, and we're so like subconsciously like programmed. We're not thinking to ourselves like, hey, we're both women, we should both reciprocate the amount of attraction and amount of effort to both of us, regardless of how we present ourselves through clothes or expression. Because that's all it is. This is just fabric. It doesn't represent who I am on the inside. Same thing goes for you. So why should we dictate how we should treat one another based on our clothes? And another thing, we should really like. Oh, also, let's cook up the makeup look. I wanted to do like vines and little leaves and stuff, and then I wanted it to go up to a little flower. I thought it was cute, okay. But anywho, I was thinking like, why should we treat each other that way? And I mainly am talking to my lesbians on this, but I'm sure like the gay community, like gay males, I'm sure they have that same issue as well. But I can only speak on behalf of the lesbian community, the sapphic community, because that's what I'm part of. And we should question everything. Why do I find masculine presenting women attractive? Why do I find feminine women presenting women attractive? Why? Like, why don't we sit down and think about that? Like, what is the reason? Why do I have this point of view, this infatuation, this like? Why? Is it because I was programmed to thinking that way? Is it because of the media? What influenced me to have this opinion, to have this point of view? I feel like we should question that when it comes to everything. Why do I like wearing makeup? Why do I have a septum ring? Why do I like the color pink? Like, a lot of the things that we think is like our own thought or of our own is actually just influenced by an outside source. I feel like that topic could be like discussed on anything, honestly. But back to what I was saying. I'm basically bringing this up because I think it's a pattern and I feel like we're taking it a little too far. Like, this is like, this isn't heterosexuality. Don't get me wrong. The heteros, they got their own thing going on. They got issues they gotta fix. But I'm saying, don't bring that over here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's stop. Like, how about let's like take a pause and be like, wait a minute, something ain't right. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying, oh, you're wrong, we shouldn't do this. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like it's a pattern. This shouldn't be the norm. Like, so many times, and I get it. Like, oh, you shouldn't look at social media as an example, but everybody has social media, and social media is influencing whether you believe it or not. It is, regardless of, oh, I'm my own person, I own my own opinion. Good for you, but if we being honest, most people get their influence directly or indirectly from social media. Like, for example, I didn't know these mics existed until I went on TikTok. I got the influence to buy the microphones. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, at times we think something is of our own, but it's actually from an outside source. It's actually from an influence that we may or may not know. Why do a lot of mask presenting women feel the need that they have to fit this male role within the relationship? I saw this TikTok trend where it's like, oh, these sassy studs. Last time I checked, studs are still women, so how can a stud be sassy if they're already a woman? Why are we emasculating women when it comes just because of their clothes? Like, don't get me wrong, whatever floats your boat, to each their own, but it's like, they're not a monolith. They're not a monolith. Like, this should be fluid. There shouldn't be any restrictions. And that's another thing. I like calling myself a lesbian, but at the same time, I don't like labels because labels put you in a box. And within the box, there's strict rules. And within rules, I can't be flowy, be fluid, be myself, have no like boundaries or restrictions. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, even then, like the word femme, I don't want to be called a femme. What if I want to wear like, what if I want to look like a man or dress like a boy or be a little masculine one day? Now I'm not a femme. Like, kind of like that. Like, I don't think everything should be like, I don't think everything should have like a label, because it also restricts us at the same time, and that is also an issue that I wanted to like press up upon when it comes to the community. Like, not everything should have a label, especially when it comes to like sapphic women. Like, oh, are you a stud? And this is only for my black women out there, because only black women are studs. It's a historical term that are only referred to black women. History lesson. Anywho, this is a historical thing, and it bothers me when white women or Hispanic women or Asian women or any women outside of blackness claims they're a stud. I want to literally slap them. You're not a stud. It is a historical thing. Black women back then, before we had the rights to even work, we couldn't. So what did a lot of women do? A lot of black women dressed up and basically looked like men so they can have these high paying, well rounded jobs that they can afford to feed their families. So what did they call them? They called them studs. History lesson. How you know? Not everything is, oh, we gotta be inclusive to everything. No, this is literally a historical thing. It has meaning. People literally risk their lives and their rights over this. So no, it's just for black women and black women only. If you ain't black and you a mask, you ain't a stud. Period. Okay. Anywho, even that term, right? I would see other studs on TikTok being like, "Oh, if you twerk, you ain't a stud. If you take strap, you ain't a stud. If you do the..." Why are there rules and regulations on what it means to be a stud? The only thing that means to be a stud is just your clothes. You know, like, why is there like rules and regulations to the shit? Like, what is this? Work? Like, y'all supposed to have fun. Same thing with femmes. Oh, you're not supposed to wear this. You can't wear this. They're just clothes. And that's it. Why are we doing the most over some clothes? Be for real. It shouldn't be that way. Okay? Okay. But I'm gonna wrap this video up because I don't want it to be too long and I don't got that much storage. But thanks for watching. Comment down below your thoughts. I want this to be a discussion. I have this channel as a safe space to discuss controversial and topics that we need to be talking about more. So comment down below your thoughts. I will be responding if it's worth responding because some people could be ignorant and y'all don't deserve a response for real. But to the people that are not ignorant and want to have an actual intellectual conversation about this topic, I'll reply. Thank you for watching. Stay kind, stay optimistic, stay respectful, and stay beautiful, reflection. Thanks for having time with Tatiana the Optimist. I'm out.